The Bengals just reunited the best quarterback wide receiver duo college has ever seen when they drafted Jamar Chase 5th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. This, along with Joe Burrow, will make the Bengals offense one of the most dynamic and dominant in the NFL. So I'll be explaining why this makes the Bengals so much better and why Jamar Chase was a better draft choice than Penei Sewell. I'll start by saying, yes, the Bengals still have a really bad offensive line and they need a lot of growing, especially with coaching. But the Bengals have something that most teams don't, and that is a young, promising franchise quarterback. So guys, let's get right into the draft. Jamar Chase and not Penei Sewell. And just like you guys, I was blown away when the name called was Jamar Chase and not Penei Sewell. And then I couldn't get it out of my head. Why would you draft a position that you don't really need over a transcendent tackle that you really do need? Well, I did some research. Here's exactly why they chose Chase over Sewell. 1, because he has chemistry with Joe Burrow. 2, Jamar Chase was the #1 wide receiver prospect even after missing all of 2020. He is literally better than Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson had 1,400 yards in the first season in the NFL. On the depth chart at LSU, Jamar Chase was 1 and Justin Jefferson was 2. Jamar had 200 more yards than Justin Jefferson, and he was getting the #1 corner on the college teams. He was also a year younger. That's why Jamar Chase was a top 5 pick after missing all of 2020, and Justin Jefferson went 22nd overall. So if Jamar is half as good as Justin Jefferson, which stats say he'll be better, it's totally worth taking Jamar over Sewell. I know losing AJ Green hurts, but as much as I hate to say it since it seems disrespectful to a top 3 wide receiver, AJ Green hasn't been very good since 2017. Injury prone and just general production is way down. And at this point in the careers, Jamar Chase is a huge upgrade over AJ. And here's the thing, without thinking about it, the Bengals don't seem very good. They're just the Bengals. But when you look at their offense, Tyler Boyd, 1,000-yard receiver as a slot, 3 times in a row. T. Higgins, who in my opinion was better than every rookie wide receiver other than Justin Jefferson, who also had 1,000 yards. And then Joe Mixon, a top 10 running back when healthy. And Joe Burrow, who has no limit to his potential. And then you add Jamar Chase, who had 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns as a freshman. And if you are a Bengals fan, this has got to get you excited for the possibilities. 3,000-yard receivers is always good. And honestly, if Jamar Chase is as good as Justin Jefferson, or better, and T. Higgins takes the next step in the NFL, they could have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. And honestly, if you know anything about Joe Burrow, you should know that his potential is endless. He is by far my favorite quarterback outside of my team. He's super competitive, has the greatest college season by a quarterback in NCAA history. So let's make some bets. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, I guarantee the Bengals will have a top 10 offense. And if Jamar Chase has 1,200 or more yards, I guarantee they'll be top 5. And if you watched the Bengals last year, you should know that their offense showed huge flashes. In 2020, they put up 30 points on the Colts, 34 on the Browns, just so close to a complete offense. And the Bengals could have easily been 7-3 with Burrow if they had not been unlucky. Let me explain. Because they lost the first game against the Chargers by a missed field goal with no time left. Then they lost a last-second nail-biter against the Browns. Then they tied with the Eagles in overtime. Then they lost by a last-second mistake to the Colts. Then they lost in a shootout again to the Browns. I watched every single one of these games. If one play had gone the Bengals' way, they could have started 7-3. The Bengals drafted Chase to be open on the field and to get them that big play that would have won them those games, which will boost their chances of being a playoff team in 2021. And even though the Bengals' offensive line was horrible in 2020, they have made some improvements. At left tackle, they have Jonah Williams, a first-round pick, who is decent. And in the draft, they drafted a huge guard, Jackson Carman. And their biggest upgrade is at right tackle, Riley Reef, who they signed in free agency. So to be honest, their offensive line should be much better than last year. And if this team stays healthy, the sky is the limit for the Bengals offense. And if they get a decent coaching staff, and offensive line, this Bengals offense will be dominating the league for years to come. Let me know your thoughts on the Bengals drafting Chase and not Penei Sewell, and if it'll improve their offense. I've given you my reasons, you can give me yours. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for weekly NFL content just like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Until next time.